Okay, everybody. It looks like we are ready. As you know, things are very garbled up in social media right now. As you know, I've shared this before. So I need for you to do your part in growing the classroom. Now is time to share on your private pages. Ladies, keep me safe organics. Make sure you share. Make sure you tag. You make sure you do all your things that make people aware that we're on, because even if you like and follow, you may not get notification that we are on live. So this is your chance to say, I am helping out the classroom, because the algorithms are really garbling us up and we're still growing because of you. So make sure that you share, please. And all you have to do is you go to where we're at Lillian's radio show. And right underneath where you see us, there's a little share button. You can share to private groups. And Robert, can you share to some of our groups as well? Because, you know, who hasn't had a setback? Who hasn't had a set? I feel like I'm talking to a dog. Like, who hasn't had a setback? Are you ready for a setback? Okay. So these are kind of trying times. So do your job. Let's start sharing. Share with everybody you know, and then I'm going to start the record process. Okay. See, this is the stuff podcast people know. And it might be a good thing. Okay, here we go. I have just started the recording because we love our podcast people and we love our BitChute people and all the people that will be watching this recording afterwards. So thank you so much for that. But we need to do our part. We need to share after you view any of the classrooms, the lessons in the classroom. Make sure you share it. Think of people that you can share this with. So today we have Kelli Bono and Rebecca Black of Keep Me Safe Organics, the Boss Babes. And today we're going to be talking about how our setbacks can be our comebacks. And how do we achieve that? By becoming what we want to be. So fasten your seatbelts. It's time to learn and grow together and dance, everybody. Time to dance.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Here we go. That unmute button always gets me. I am so glad that we are together. So hello, my listening and viewing friends. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are tuning in to the classroom for the first time, please know I've been waiting for you. And so this is so that you know this is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening and viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, that is how I always, for the most part, unless I stumble on something, how I start the classroom. And it's because I truly believe that we have got to be surrounded with like-minded people that will lift us up. You know, I've often heard of crabs in a bucket. When you see crabs in a bucket, they're constantly pulling. The crabs are using each other's bodies to get out of the bucket. And what ends up happening is one crab will eventually grab that little leg and just pull you back down. And they're not doing the things. And I remember my friend Judy Bressler, she said to me, "You're a balcony friend." And I thought, what is a balcony friend? And I started thinking about it. And it's, yes, if you are in the balcony and you have someone that's looking up at the balcony, they want to be in the balcony with you, you just grab them and you bring them up, you lift them up to that balcony level with you. So this is what this class is about. It's about being there for one another, lifting each other up, and everything that we've been doing is finally coming together with the New Truth Series Bible study. And by the way, it's going to grow to other things so that we can all become balcony friends, that we can all get to be, no matter what happens in our life, whatever setback that we have, we use that as a powerful tool, not poison. We use it as our to help us become who we want to be. So today, in usual fashion, we have Rebecca Black and Kelli Bono, also known as the Boss Babes of Keep Me Safe Organics. And we are going to be doing an incredible makeover pretty soon, as in Saturday. So I hope that you guys have submitted your emails and your addresses, because you're going to be getting some products soon so that we can do this makeover. So the reason why they are where they're at is because they didn't allow their setbacks to hold them down. They did not allow what the status quo, what they thought they could be, or what other people wanted them to be. They said, no, we need to figure out how to create what we want. And so today we're going to talk about that. But it's not just finances, it's spirit, mind, body, wherever it is that you feel that you have not a deficiency, a longing. Because we try to break ourselves. We're like, oh, there's something wrong with me because I haven't achieved this. But there's nothing broken about you. We just need to find the pieces so that you can feel whole again. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Kelli and Rebecca, the Boss Babes, are here to do just that. Welcome, ladies, to the classroom.
Aw, so happy to be here.
Oh, yes, we are. And every time we get distracted, we have Robert going, okay, it's time to get on here. It's time to get on. But, it's because there is a true love and there is so much connection, and we need to bring this connection and unite our intention to what we want. So, Rebecca, let's start with you, because I want to start saying, what was it in your life that you felt was holding you back? And really quickly, because this is just like an intro before we dip our toe before we go deeper into this. If you were to say in a few words, what was holding you back and what you discovered to make you move forward, what would that be?
I think the biggest thing that held me back probably was fear, because, I didn't have a rich uncle. There was no silver spoon. So everything that I have achieved has been through getting around the right people, giving myself the knowledge that I needed. And once I started getting around the right people, at the beginning, I would tell people my ideas and they would tell me that I was a little crazy. And so I stopped telling those people ideas and I started telling people my ideas that were like, you know what, you're onto something there. And so it really is about getting around the right people.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Miss Kelli, what about you?
So one of my biggest hurdles is growing up. I was dyslexic. So I was in all the slow classes. I was held back, not once, I think like twice, and so it was like just this struggle to keep up. And I just remember always thinking like, you won't hold me back. Like you might physically be able to hold me back, but you're not going to hold me back, like mentally. And that was a challenge. And I remember getting to college and I really hadn't even read my first book. All my books had been on audio. So it was really to go through and get 2 master degrees when the reading thing was such a struggle. And then one day I just gave my life to the Lord, and all of a sudden I just got gifted with a reading. It was like reading just like within a moment happened. And all of a sudden I remember like reading 100 books in college, and it was just like, God just blessed me with the gift of reading. And I couldn't get through it in high school. I tried, I couldn't get through one book. I mean, it was just such a struggle. And our system was just, you got to whatever the teacher, I would ask and beg for a list, give me the list, and I would go buy all those audios, and then I would have to do the book audio just to even be able to keep up with the classroom and what everybody was learning. And so it was a real struggle. And I didn't, at the time, no one knew it was dyslexia. They just said, she's slow. She's slow. She tries really hard, but she's slow, you know? So I heard that my whole life. So feeling like, you know, that I think was one of the biggest challenges, is just overcoming. And it was like, not just a little things didn't make sense. Everything didn't make sense. I couldn't even figure out directions for math tests. I couldn't ask if they were trying to tell me to move the ball forward, move the ball backwards. Word problems were such a challenge. It was just like every day showing up to school was like filled with anxiety, filled with stress. How am I going to get, and I managed to make honor roll, which is insane when you think about it. But it was because I was in there before school. I was into the teacher after school. I really had to try to figure this thing out. And I knew something was wrong, but people just said slow learner. So I was just labeled slow learner my whole life. But once I really dived into it, it was like, once the reading piece came for me, it was like, oh, I knew it. I was dyslexic the whole time. Things were backwards. I was getting things mixed up all the time. It was like, oh my gosh, there it was. So, and then once I was able to read, oh my gosh, now I just like love to read, and I love to consume information. And it's just really a powerful feeling. And nobody's telling me that.
No. I would like for you, because I have a real good friend who is dyslexic and has issues with reading. And now they're beyond your age. I mean, they're older, and they have grown up with that mentality. What exactly did you do? Let's say that again.
Wait. Hold on. Say it again.
No. You said what exactly did you? You said you gave it to God.
Oh yes. Well, yeah. In college,
what did you do?
Well, it wasn't even giving that part of my life, because I was used to struggling with that part. It was just one day in college, I just really felt like I wasn't living for the right things. And if this was all that life had, because I was class president, I was homecoming queen, I was school president. I mean, I literally knew everybody, because I had to ask people all the time in classes, what does this say? What does this mean? What does this help? You know? So I was living in the library. So I always had to figure it out. So for me, it wasn't about anything to do with my disability. It was like, I felt like I had gotten to college. I was on like 50 activities. I was crewing at 5 a.m. I was on student senate till like 9 o'clock at night. And it just kind of hit me. If this is all that life is just trying to move my life forward, it felt so empty. And I just remember one night getting on my knees, hitting my knees, and just saying, okay, I don't want to live anymore. This is all that there is. Like, what is the purpose? And I didn't have a Bible at the time, but I remember like the urge to go get one was like overwhelming. And so I started knocking on all the dorm rooms doors, and people were like, oh my gosh. And when I saw my face, it was pretty, but I remember people shutting, like one kid was like, I'm Jewish, get out, you know, like it was like, you know, traumatic. And then I remember one girl opened the door, and it was like a Friday or Saturday night. It was like a weekend. Like, my roommate has one, and by the looks of you, I don't think she would mind if you borrowed it. So she gave me her roommate's Bible, and I ran it back to my dorm room, and I just flung it open, because I didn't know anything about the Bible, like where to go or whatnot. And it just fell on John 6:36. And I'll never forget it, because it was like God spoke just to me. And he said, I am the bread of life. He who comes after me will never hunger or thirst again. And it was like the word of God, the living word of God, just spoken to my heart. And I've been hungering and thirsting after everything the world had to offer, but not him. And I was so empty. And all of a sudden, oh my gosh, you should have seen me. I look like Moses. I mean, scary Moses, because I had, you know, makeup and everything all over my face. And I just went and shut up. It was like I had an encounter with the living God. God spoke to me. When that girl came back to get her Bible, she was like, oh my gosh, I think she gave it to me, because she's like, I think it's better in your hands than in mine. It was just such a beautiful time. And all of a sudden it was really that passage. And then I read the Bible like 3 times in 1 year. Just, it was like the Holy Spirit came on me, and I was just able to like, just get through it. And it was like, I couldn't even read before that. And it was like, I read that passage, I understood it. God was speaking to me, and the reading issue was gone. Like literally like a miracle. And it was very like, good. No more.
Very good. I want to just tap into that, because many people, you know, they do the same thing over and over again, and we program ourselves to the result. Like, you know, all of us have had moments where we've been told one thing and that becomes our limiting belief. That becomes what holds us back. And until we peel that layer, that those onions or whatever, the layers of the onion, that we don't get to the truth, until we get to that truth, then we will always believe the lie. And so it's very important that we discover what's the lie at the center of our belief. And so with that in mind, this is, I think the one thing that I think we could all say we have in common, and I'm sure collectively, and I want to hear what your setback is, what has held you back. I want you to share it. If you don't want to share it because you don't want to share something personal, you can text me at 407-373-5959. I want to hear what is holding you back. And what I heard Rebecca say is fear. What I heard Kelli say is dyslexia. And that is a fear of not being enough. And so it's about fear. I was told when I was in second grade that I would never amount to much. And I was told by my paternal grandmother, and I know that this was not intended to hurt me, either one. It was intended to motivate me. My grandmother said that if I stopped learning how to play the piano, she would stop loving me. Well, what do you think a 9-year-old thinks when you stop learning how to play the piano? So you start taking these, I'm not enough, I am fearful, I'm not enough. And fear is not of God. Fear is not of God. And so as we start unraveling this conversation, because these are the conversations Kelli, Rebecca, and I have, and especially Kelli and I, when we drove to a place together, and how, these conversations happen. And that's the kind of friendships we want to surround ourselves with. Someone that you could say, all of a sudden I prayed and God gave me the grace I needed because I prayed differently. I didn't pray for me. I prayed for God to do whatever God wanted within me. And that's what we're learning in the New Truth series with Dr. Lorraine Day. It's just been phenomenal. So as we learn that we are enough, I mean, what was your aha moment, Rebecca, of enoughness? Or do you still have moments that you go, ooh, I don't want to be found out. I don't want to be a fraud. I don't want to, so how does that work for you, Rebecca?
You know what? I think each and every person on some level still has that, it's like that inner child that still feels like, you're going to disappoint your parents. Someone's not going to love me. I'm not going to get invited to things. And, for me, I always think of it as like pressure systems, like pressure systems. God created a dream and a vision inside of every single one of us. And that little, it starts as like that still small voice. It starts to whisper, and it's like, you want to be more, you want to do more. And I believe that is God's vision that is in you. And he doesn't give you a vision if he doesn't want you to carry it out, is my wholehearted belief. And so I think that in life, you're always going to struggle with that. But I think that if you think about like the pressure systems in weather, you have high pressure systems and you have low pressure systems. When you have low pressure systems, everything is kind of like pushing down on you, pushing down on you, pushing down on you. Hurricanes form, bad weather, thunderstorms. There are people in your life who are low pressure systems. They tell you that you're crazy. They tell you that you'll never amount to anything. They tell you that, oh, are you doing one of those things? Oh, are you ever going to be happy? Oh, you're doing something else. Those people are low pressure systems in your life. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that not enough people get around the high pressure people where you're like that friend up on the balcony pulling you up out of that low pressure system and saying, you know what, girlfriend, there is some sunshine for you. God gave you a vision, and I'm going to lock arms with you, and I'm going to help you make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I love that. I love that analogy of the low pressure, high pressure. That's really good. And, and I've completely changed what I want to hear from all of you. I want to hear what's your vision, because when we focus on what we don't want, we get more of what we don't want. So I want to hear what's your vision. Okay. So what about with you, Kelli? What is that moment of truth for you where you are saying, okay, now I know what I need to do? What is that moment where you're saying, I believe in me?
Yeah. So I think like what Rebecca said, I think we all like go through and doubt, like even now, like there's things where I'm like, oh, I can't, that's so hard, or, oh, that's so challenging, or, oh my gosh, and for most of you who know me, tech has always been an issue. I don't even have a laptop because every laptop I've ever owned or had crashes within like 6 months of me owning it. So I'm like, what? Tech's been just something that's just been, huge, but I feel like I'm starting to get better and I'm starting to figure it out. But I think we all go back into that fear, like, because it was such a big, I mean, think about it. I had almost like 20 years, like, well, not so much when I was little, but even when I was little, I failed kindergarten. I had to stay back. I colored outside the line. So from such a little, I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot of failing. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of programming. It's not like it just was like 2 years of my life. This was like, we're talking 17 years of being told, and teachers talking to my parents. And I mean, every single time that the slip would go out to all the kids, I mean, it was like, need to speak to parents immediately, I was like, oh God, I knew the drill, I knew the drill. So I think that sometimes creeps in, but I think with all of us, that's really that we're doing. And I'm sorry, I've got some sunlight coming in. I'm trying to kind of move, but I think what all three of us do, and this is what I've noticed, especially even during COVID, is I've got 4 or 5 masterminds going. Like I've got a coach right now. Like I know that what's going on in the world is very, very, we're all feeling the effects. Like it can literally be hard to get out of bed some days because this is overwhelming. We've never as a culture, as a society gone through anything this extraordinary. This is on a level that, like even the 2008 crash really doesn't compare to what now we're scared to touch people. Now we're scared of disease. Now we're scared of the economy. Now our neighbor is our enemy. We have never, ever dealt with anything to this magnitude. So I think what all three of us, what I've noticed is, we're all into that self-development, because at the end of the day, if you kind of just like leave it up to yourself and every day it's like, okay, I'm not going to get my word, or I'm not going to do anything. And I'm just going to hope that the world gives me inspiration. And I hope that I can just like muster it up. I think that's a really hard thing. God says in the Bible, where 2 or more are gathered, he's in the midst. So I've really got myself involved in a lot of masterminds. And I know Rebecca has too. I know you, Lillian, you've got stuff going on. I mean, you got masterminds going on that you're leading. So I think that's what we have in common, is during the most hardest time in history, we're surrounding ourselves with people that are literally going to take at least the focus off of the desperation and put us into like that, like, everything will be okay. And then I think that's part of the solution. We're part of, as Lillian always says, we're part of the solution, because it was easy to go to my neighbor and complain. It's easy because, everybody wants to gather around and say, the world's going to crap. Who wants to have babies right now? I can't imagine having kids. I can't imagine having a business. I'm so glad I didn't do that. Do what? You know what I mean? It's like, so when you think about it, it's like, you got to get around people that really lift you up and are really like elevating you, or else it can be kind of like, where are we going? And every day can be a new day to really say, okay, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to get into masterminds. I'm going to get a coach. Because what you invest in yourself, for me always, and I've always been into investing in myself, but the ROI on it is huge. Because at the end of the day, how I feel and how I wake up, where my neighbor might not wake you up being happy, I'm waking up happy because I poured in all that goodness. So then what comes out of me is goodness, right?
Absolutely.
Somebody else is filling in negative, my neighbor, this, right? And then all of a sudden they're around the low, as Rebecca says, the low currency. And all of a sudden you wonder why your day's just like taken over. Yeah. And then it's exhausting. And then you're like, how do I ever get out of that? Get out of your circle. And I do a lot with masterminds, right? Because sometimes I can't physically meet up, with a lot of people. So masterminds where there's same people wanting to learn about the same topic. And those, and Rebecca and I and Lillian know that the 5 people you surround yourself are who you most become. So we want to surround ourselves with not only people that are emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, but we want people that are joyful in our life. We want people to lift us on that balcony, like Lillian says, and say, girl, you're amazing and you're perfect as is right now. Like all that stuff goes, right? Even when I go into my past, I'm like, oh, it's icky. But when I stand in the truth, oh my gosh, God is amazing, and amazing things are happening right now. And Rebecca and I, oh my gosh, every day we're like masterminding with somebody else, and amazing, beautiful things are happening. And my coach said to me, and this was like a aha moment for me, and this might really set somebody free. But my coach on my call 2 days ago, she said, Kelli, your only job right now is to feel good. Like, don't worry about anything else. Your only job is to feel good. And when she said that, it was like everything else fell away, because if that's my only job is to feel good, because she said, when you feel good, good things happen. And it's exactly what Lillian, you always say, you know, it's like, we don't want what we don't want. We want more of what we do want. And when she said that, it was like, that I can do. And it's super easy. So I encourage you, if you're out there, your only job is to feel good. And once you start feeling good, you're going to start to go in different groups and seek out different things. And all of a sudden the fear goes away. And you're like, I want to be a part of that group. I want to be part of that group. I want to be part of Lillian's group. I want to be, because all of a sudden the world just opens up and there's no longer fear that's running your life. So
very good. Very good. I love it. I love it. Okay. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your vision is. What do you want? And if you feel that this is too personal, you can text me at 407-373-5959. I also want to note that we're a little bit blurry. I don't know what's going on Facebook, but on YouTube, we look fine. So if you want to switch over to YouTube, that's fine too. But if you can to put up with all, you know, these are the little things that we need to put up with so that we can get the information. So it doesn't matter how we get garbled up. We are going to still stand firm, stand tall. And one of the things that I wanted to share, that this has been something that has been, you know, been festering in me. I also have felt this in my life, that freedom came for me the moment I learned that it's none of my business what you think of me. It's none of my business what you think of me. Oh, so I'm being told that it's not blurry? Okay, well, it is blurry on my end. So let me just refresh for me, and maybe that'll do it. Okay, so with one of the things, that's why I'm like trying to figure out how to solve this problem, but obviously it's not a problem that needs to be solved. Maybe it's just on my end to make me think that it's going on. Isn't it amazing? Perception is our reality. So the biggest thing, like I said, when I was going through my time where I was learning a little bit more about myself and later became a life coach, was it's none of my business what people think of me. And for those of you who are people pleasers, you will there's just like, you're not going to be able to please everybody, but in the process of trying to please everybody else, you will lose yourself. And so what I woke up one morning and we discussed it. I discussed this with David Icke when he was in the classroom not too long ago. He says, freedom comes when you do the right thing, even if you're fearful. Mm-hmm. Because I think that we all have that in common. How do you think that they're able to control us during this time? It's fear of death, fear of sickness, fear of touching somebody, fear that your neighbor is going to be carrying some big bug. Well, we learned yesterday in the classroom that viruses and bacteria can't do anything unless you're causing it to do it. So it comes from you first. So with that in mind, I want to say that there's a couple of things that are going on. One of them is that we have on Saturday at 11 Eastern time, we have our phenomenal makeover. During, you know, when we've done these things, it kind of turns into like a girly girls powwow where we get to kind of feel each other's heart. And I love this. And I love having people around me. I feel this energy. Well, look, it's there's something major going on my computer. It is what it is. Okay. So what I want to encourage all of you, if you haven't done so already, you know, you wouldn't be able to participate in the fullest way, but if you wanted to be a part of it, you could still let me know that you want to be a part of it, but you wouldn't have any makeup. You can learn some tips, and you can learn about Keep Me Safe Organics. If you text me at 407-373-5959 on Saturday at 11 Eastern time, that's 11 a.m., we are going to have a makeover. The Keep Me Safe Organics, and Rebecca, if you'd like to share a little bit about your million makeover movement that you're doing, and that's going to be part of it. We're going to do makeup, and Kelly and Rebecca have sent all the makeup samples to everybody who has said to me that they want to be a part of this. But if you want to just be a fly on the wall and listen and be a part of the camaraderie, you're welcome to join me. But let's talk about the Million Makeover movement.
Yes. So thank you for that, Lillian. The Million Makeover movement was a vision that I had for 1 million people across the United States to change one thing they use in their home or on their skin on a daily basis. And the reason that I wanted to do that was because in Europe, a lot of the products that you can buy here in the United States are different formulations in Europe because the ingredient regulation is so much stricter over there. So it is a cause that I believe in, that, and it's something that Keep Me Safe abides by, is that we manufacture and source to the same standards that the European unions do. And so we want stricter regulations. So part of the Million Makeover movement is with certain purchases, we donate to something that goes towards the campaign for safe cosmetics, something that is stricter regulations for ingredients in the US.
Yes. And that, but let's say somebody's listening to you right now and they go, oh, great, I have European products that are shipped to the United States. Do they have to fall under the same guidelines as Europe, or can they fall under the guidelines of the United States?
And Lillian, that is not a question I would be able to answer because I don't know where those are manufactured. I would have to look at each single individual label to see where everything is manufactured.
Well, so I heard this a long time ago, and perhaps maybe I made it up. So research it, because I always say research everything that you hear in the classroom. So what I heard is that even though the beauty products in Europe have to be held to a certain standard, those same beauty products, if they're shipped to the United States, are United States standards. But that was what I heard. I could be wrong. But anyway, what the way that we need to look at this is with Keep Me Safe Organics or Lily Rose Botanicals, because they're made by the same principle of non-synthetic, all organic, non-GMO, Leaping Bunny certified, which means no animal cruelty. And even their essential oils, you got to get this, even their essential oils are not changed. Their molecular structure, they're not heated. They're extracted through a vapor, right? Is it steaming process?
Yep.
Can you explain that, Rebecca?
So steam distillation is essentially, so when you think about like a raw plant, so we'll just use lavender, for example. Whenever you think of the raw plant of lavender, how do you get the oil out of it? A lot of companies will use a toxic solvent to get that oil to leach out of the flowers, out of the petals, out of the stems, any piece of oil that they can get out. They'll use a toxic solvent to get that out. So all of our essential oils are extracted in a steam distillation process. So it is essentially where they are, the herbs themselves are in a little bubble, steam goes through them, creates condensation. It comes down, the essential oil goes off here into a smaller thing, and then the hydrosol, the water extract of that plant goes into a different, because they each have different molecular weights, so they kind of separate themselves out.
Very good. And so as a result, it does not change a thing. There's nothing that is changed chemically, because you might hear or you might see in a label that says organic, but when you look at how it was processed, maybe they changed the structure in any way. Keep Me Safe Organics doesn't, and Lily Rose Botanicals does not change the molecular structure. And so it is as close to what God intended as possible with the packaging. So if God would package it, this is how he would do it. Okay. So with that in mind, we talked about how setbacks can become our comeback. And that is the webinar that you guys are doing. And let's talk about this webinar, and when is it, and when and how can people attend it?
All right. So we are hosting a webinar with our very great friend, Mr. Tim Story, and that is going to be Monday evening, September 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So our West Coast friends, that is going to be 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is going to be 3 p.m. if you are one of our Alaska people, and then all of our Central Time Zone people, that is going to be at 6 p.m. and then our Eastern Time people, that is going to be right at 7 p.m. So you can register for that. You can go to my Instagram. I am at Miss Becca Black, MSBECCA.
Oh, I thought they needed to text me.
The link.
No, that I thought that they needed to text me for that.
They can text you.
Okay, so they can text me at 407-373-5959. Sorry about that, Rebecca. Kelly and I discussed that earlier. So if you text me, I will send you the link, and then we will go from there. So that's 407-373-5959. You can email me at lily@whenyouneedafriend.com, and that way you will get the information if you want to be a part of that. Now, we have our New Truth series. So I'm going to be involved in the New Truth series. And for those of you who are not in the New Truth series, you have the Monday night at 7:00. That would be a conflict. Is this going to be recorded so that people can see it later on?
Yes, we will be recording this this webinar. And for those of you who don't know who Tim Story is, check him out. You probably have seen him on Super Soul Sunday. He is pastor of the Congregation Church in California as well. And he has a huge social media following. He speaks all over the world. He is pretty much known as the comeback king, because life really, he says, life can knock the shout out of you, and a pandemic will knock the shout out. Some of you may have lost loved ones during this. Some of you may have lost jobs during this. And so all of us are operating on some level from a place of a setback. You might not have a business to go back to. And so he is coming together with us for a special evening about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
let
amazing.
me say, Rebecca and I, about 5 years ago, were at a convention with Tim, and he was the very end speaker. And I've been through Tony Robbins. I motivation is like my love, like my passion. And let me just tell you, Tim's story knocked every single motivational speaker I have ever heard out of the water. And I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden at the end of his, maybe he was up there for an hour, 2 hours. At the end of his 2-hour thing, there was so much not like setting free, like getting freed up, getting like that physical feeling of like, this is something different. Something in my brain has completely unlocked. So when we talk about this webinar, it's not just like, oh, come here, prepare to be set free. Prepare to be all of a sudden standing on that mountaintop. Like, what is going to be possible for my life? That is going to be so exciting. So make sure you text Lillian. Make sure you get into this webinar. It's going to be so much fun. And all of a sudden, you're going to want to pass that out to everybody you know, because they're going to wind up being set free also. And Tim Story just doesn't do anything little. Every time I've heard him, even in 5 minutes on Oprah or even 5 minutes on Mel Robinson, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. It's like, oh my gosh, does this man not even know how to change your life in 2 minutes, So it is beyond powerful.
Well, let me ask you, is there a cost to the webinar?
It's 100% free. It's a free webinar. Yes.
So this is an opportunity for all of us and all of you. And if you cannot make Monday, then I can get you the recording of this webinar. So it's important that we take the first step, that we say, okay, I am so unhappy, or I am so disgusted, or I am so, whatever word that needs to create momentum. And I'm not about shaming, and I'm not about blaming, and I'm not about any of that. I'm about taking ownership. I do not like what's happening here right now. What can I do, along with God's help, to make it happen? And you got to pick up your mat and walk. That is one of the stories in the Bible that I just absolutely, it completely transformed me, of the paralytic man that was waiting by the pool, waiting to jump into the pool for 38 years, And Jesus saw the man, and he knew the story of the man, but Jesus asked the man, why are you here? Do you want to be healed? You know, we're all asked that question. Do we want to change? Do we want to grow? Do we want abundance? And if the answer is yes, and that was the answer, yes, I want to be healed. Now, Jesus could have picked him up, levitated him, thrown him in the pool, said, here you go, let me help you out. No, Jesus said, pick up your mat and walk. So what is the mat you need to pick up right now? Is it as simple as texting me at 407-373-5959 so that you can start digging with your soul shovel until you only find truth? Mm-hmm. At what point do you say, you do it? Mm-hmm. It's your fault. That's the reason I'm the way that I am, because you did this to me, or it's your fault. And I can just continue pointing all the fingers at you, but there are 3 pointing back at me. So that is so crucial that we have a wake-up call, a come to Jesus call, you know, where you say, this is not acceptable. And I've been living in this mediocrity for a long time, trying to pretend that it's good. So what are you pretending not to know is my question today. And so, Rebecca, when you're creating this event and you're getting excited about this happening, you know, what's going through your mind for people that are having apprehension and go, yeah, that might be good for you, but it's not good for me?
You know, before I answer that, I want to go back and talk about your story that you said there, the man where Jesus said, pick up your mat and walk. Yeah. The scriptures also tell us that faith without works is dead. Mm-hmm. And so you can have all the knowledge, you can sit in all these masterminds, you can come to all these webinars, you can register for all these webinars, you can be around the right people, but if you don't put yourself in action, if I didn't put myself in action, if Kelli didn't put herself in action, Lillian, if you didn't put yourself in action, we wouldn't be there. And I always think back to when I was a little girl and I had fallen off my bicycle and the patellar tendon snapped a piece of the joint, and I was in a cast in 3rd grade from my butt cheek all the way down to my ankle, complete solid cast. Okay. So what does that look like? I could have said, well, you know, I'm never going to be able to hang out with friends again. Sports was pretty much off the table because you can't run. You couldn't really do sleepovers at anybody's house because you have this big, huge cast thing to take around. And it's like, you know, you grow up in a bubble, but you got to get out of that bubble. You have to pick up your mat and walk. And if there's something stirring inside of you today where you're wanting something more, I just encourage you to pick up your mat and walk. Take a step. And if you feel that calling, that it is to register for that webinar, if you feel like that calling is to start plugging into Lillian every single day, do those things. Take that action. Walk. Put one foot in front of the other. Because like an old ancient saying is, Rome wasn't built in a day, and we didn't get where we are right now overnight. There's no such thing as an overnight success. There's no such thing as an overnight success, because what people don't tell you, and I'm guilty of this myself, I never let people in on the struggles because I'm so focused on where I'm going that I don't get stuck in the struggle. But so many people do. And I think it's really important for people to, when you keep your eyes high, when you keep your eyes on your creator and you tune into that vision and that depth and that breadth that he gave you, he knows your heart. He knows your framework. He knows where you're going to stumble. He knows where you're going to soar. But if you're not plugging into that and you're not taking action on that daily, and you're getting stuck by all those low pressure systems, all those bad things in life, and you're not pulling yourself up to that higher pressure, you'll never get to that next level that you have been called to be. And now I feel like I'm preaching.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. And it's not about preaching. It's about sharing what you know. Mm-hmm. And you're not saying what you know to be true because you created it. Mm-hmm. It's what you know to be true because the creator placed it in you and the creator created it within you. And that, I saw a movie a long time ago. I said, we bought a zoo or we bought a farm. I always forget the title of, and I like not knowing the title because it really doesn't matter. But the only thing that I took from that movie was they said a quote that said, all you need is 20 seconds of courage to take the first step. That's all you need is 20 seconds of courage. Once you take that first step, that's the hardest step. 20 seconds. I have 20 seconds. Do you have 20 seconds? That first step is crucial to taking the next step and the next step. And then there's that question. What are you pretending not to know? Because we know, and this week and next week, we have been diving into the past traumas that are trapped in us, the lack of forgiveness that is trapped in us, that we just ignore and say, oh yeah, we're fine. Oh, I've forgiven that person, but don't you dare come near me. That type of stuff where that emotion is still trapped in there, that if you just say or smell something, it triggers some emotion in you, you're not done. You're just denying it. And so we talked about German new medicine and we talked about recall healing this week. And now we're talking about picking up your mat and walking. But here's the thing. If you don't know what you need to do, then know that God does. Mm-hmm. And if you open yourself up, just like Kelli was saying, I want to read. I want to read. Take whatever it is that you need, the blinders off me, God, and show me. Mm-hmm. When you make that prayer with the heart of God, not because I want to be better than you, God, or I want to be noticed, God, or I want to be famous, God. No, I want what you want for me. Please show me. It changes everything. Because if you really say, please show me, and God goes, oh, really? You want to know? Okay, here you go. But you go, oh, I didn't. No, that's not true. So we've got to be ready. We've got to make ready, because I can do all things with Christ who gives me strength. Mm-hmm. All things, not some things, not many things, not partial things, but all things. That means wisdom. Mm-hmm. So if Solomon can have the wisdom of, of God and be able to make some incredible decisions, but what broke Solomon was people, humanity, women. That's what broke him. It took his focus away from God, our creator. And so that's something that I wanted to share. I also want to let you know, as you know, that the whenyouneedafriend.com, Lillian McDermott radio show, has been under a lot of attack. Our website has been attacked many times. Our social media has been garbled, everything. This is information that someone doesn't want you to know. So I need for you to play your part. I need for you to share this. I need for you to like it. I need for you to tag people. I need for you to say, I am changing my life from head to toe, including putting Keep Me Safe Organics on my body, including, joining the New Truth series and the Book of Revelation, including doing the webinar with Rebecca and Kelli and Tim Story, because I wish I could clone myself just for Monday, the 28th, so that I can be a part of both. But I've made a commitment to one, and this one came after my commitment. So I am going to watch every single morsel of Tim with the replay. So you got to make the first move. You got to text me at 407-373-5959. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to subscribe at whenyouneedafriend.com. I need for you to like me on all social media, including podcasts, because podcast is really growing right now. It is just so amazing. And I think it's because we are not being censored on podcasts. So people are listening to that. And then if they're choosing, if they want to watch it, they can watch it later on. The extended version of the classroom, they're watching it on Facebook and BitChute and YouTube. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe to all my channels, because you never know. one day you go onto Facebook, you may not find me there. I don't know. We're just very grateful to all the social media platforms for providing the service that we can go into your comfort of your home, your phones, your work, wherever. Some people listen while they're driving. Don't look at us, don't look at me, but while you're driving, you can still listen on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. So I want to encourage you to partner with us. Our high, this is our, the instead of the low pressure, we're the high pressure people. So we are the ones that are lifting you up. We're the ones that are showing you it's not me, it's God. It's not me. Just change your vision a little bit. And maybe God is speaking through me to you, but perhaps it is time for you to pick up your mat and walk. So different ways that you can support the classroom is by clicking onto my sponsors button, and with Keep Me Safe Organics, you get 10% off all these wonderful beauty products that are free of all these toxins. Usually they give away something, but they've given away a lot of samples. So I'm giving them a break not to give anything unless they want to give something away. But they've given so much with this workshop that we're doing on Saturday at 11. So if you want to just be a fly on the wall, it's too late. We're going to maybe do this again and maybe in 2-3 months, but just let me know you want to be a part of it this time. So just text me at 407-373-5959. First Alternative Care. First Alternative Care is telemedicine for the entire household. That is medical, that is dermatology, that's unlimited, and 3 hours a year of behavioral health counseling for your entire household. Because of the viewership in the classroom, you get it for $19.99. Kelly, you got it for $19.99. I got it for $19.99. I had to switch because I was paying more for it, and I switched to $19.99. So all of you understand that there are other ways that you can achieve you can accomplish a comeback after your setback. So that you got to check out First Alternative Care. The pharmacy in Merritt Island has supported the classroom for I don't know how many years, 6 years now. All you have to do is go in there. If you're in the Brevard County area, go to the pharmacy in Merritt Island, tell them that Lily sent you, and you get 20% off your first purchase. And of course, Live Longer Medical, making you as beautiful on the inside out in Indy, Atlantic, Florida. And we have our affiliate programs. So that's the Shop Now button. So just go to the Shop Now button and switch to Ground Therapy. These girls, all of us are grounded because of Ground Therapy. We also have products that I also have products that if you want to write me in, you can ask me any questions on. Brain Tap. Oh my goodness. Kelly, can you talk about Brain Tap real quick?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Brain Tap is so powerful. It uses light therapy to really like undo any trauma or damage or anything that your kind of mind's not like right on. You start following those lights and things unlock. Remember, it's like things just magically unlock. So it is so powerful. And I've been a therapist, like I went through school and I got my master's in therapy. And this is one of those things that it's like, this is $1 million headset. It really is. It's like $1 million in self-help, because you can put on a modality that is, and they have everything from weight loss to feeling good to depression to all kind of stuff. And you just put that thing on, you right before you go to sleep or right whenever you wake up, whatever you want to do. And then those lights start going, and all of a sudden, before you know, things in the brain have unlocked. So it is so powerful. So yes. And I'm sure there's other scientific words that I'm not using. But
no, I think it's great. I use it all the time. I know you use it all the time. And so I just thought maybe you can say a few words, because we are going to do a webinar on Brain Tap. So stay tuned on the New Truth series. We're going to do a webinar there. And also, I want you to know that Avasia, we just had Tim Smith in the classroom. That's how I managed pain. I was in a car accident that caused 4 herniated discs, a spinal compression, a concussion, a torn left shoulder. And I used Avasia in my pulse electromagnetic field bed to just bring that kind of healing. And I managed any pain that I have with with microcurrent. And so if you guys want to learn more about this, just go to the shop now or text me at 407-373-5959. So please support my sponsors because, I've lost some sponsors because of COVID. And right now I rely on the generosity of you that are watching. So if you can donate as an enrolled student in the classroom, if you can donate $1 or $1,000 a month, please do so. Also, the way you can help is by sharing and liking and sharing this videos with your friends. So do whatever it takes to help this information come out there. We've had some incredible. Next week we have Mickey Willis, who is the director of Plandemic, the documentary, and he's coming into the classroom. We should have 1 million people watching, but what's happening? So I need your help. Each one of you know people who know people who know people. Let's spread the word and let's help this grow. So today we are talking about the setbacks can become our comebacks. And I know that there's some questions here. I just looked at, I just saw that Eunice, that you had a message and it's been deleted. Okay. So I don't know if you want to rewrite it. She said she would like a copy of the webinar. And there was another one that was, so I apologize. I did not see that. So I noticed that there's a couple of messages that were removed. Perhaps maybe they're in Facebook. Okay. So all of you can text me if you want to, 407-373-5959. If you want a copy, a link to the webinar, I'm more than happy. You can email me too at lily@whenyouneedafriend.com. And I will send you the link to that. And of course, we have the event on Saturday. You will be getting an email for those of you who sent me your emails and your addresses. Kelly, what are they going to be getting?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you're going to be getting some samples of, we tried to go off pictures, but 2 to 3 samples of foundation that we think will work for you. And then we sent a blush and a bronzer. So you can choose between blush and a bronzer. You're going to get a lip balm, an eyeshadow. You're going to get a lip balm and an eyeshadow and a little vial of our hydrating mist. So, and moisturizer and cleanser sample. I mean, it's a pretty packed out little sample package. So we're excited.
So generous. Yeah. And so we're going to have a lot of girly girl fun time. It's going to be a great event. And so real quick, Rebecca, let's talk about how this webinar, what you hope to accomplish with this webinar.
With this webinar, I really hope to accomplish my intention in doing it is that I think people need hope, especially in this time. I think people need more high pressure systems in their life. And sometimes you don't know where to go. And if you're feeling like you need to be on that and you need to be on around someone with high pressure that's going to pull you up and kind of guide a light for you, I think you need to be on this webinar, because the intention is to show you and to give you confidence in whatever that dream is inside of you, and in taking that next step and overcoming whatever that bad thing is that is happening in your life right now.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So for those of you who are tuning in and you want to be a part of this, you know what to do. Text me 407-373-5959. And if you want to be a fly on the wall on Saturday at 11, because what we're going to do is we're going to talk about makeup and how to apply makeup, and Rebecca and Kelly and I, we're going to be a part of this. We're going to have it recorded so that you can have a copy of this and you would be able to, apply your makeup on later on and make you as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside. So today we are wrapping things up, and we are giving you the opportunity to say, this is what I want. this is what I want to create. What is it that you want to create? And what I want to create in this classroom is to be able to let you see that you don't need permission to grow. You've got it. You've got it. And so if some of these things seem difficult, just know that that too will pass. The moment you face it head on, it will pass once you deal with it, and you will release it from your body so that you can achieve what it is that you want. So word of advice, Rebecca, as far as, someone who has financial problems right now, what would you say? Because you said you were not born with a silver spoon and that you've created everything that you've wanted. So what would you like to say about that?
Very simple. You have to connect and you have to collaborate with the right people who've achieved what it is that you want to do, and stop listening to all the people who have not achieved where you're going.
Very good. That was very quick and simple. And so, Kelli, with Keep Me Safe Organics, you offer people to an opportunity to grow their business, to grow financially. And would you like to share real quick how that can be?
Yes. So we just have 3 ways to come in, and it's a game changer. So we have an opportunity for you to come in and literally build wealth in a time where that seems impossible, but we are big dreamers. The beauty industry is growing by billions. And so we have all 3 different packages to fit everyone's budget. I mean, we have a package for 1 penny. So,
okay. So we're going to continue. Hold on a second. We're going to continue. Oh, there you go.
You are so loved.
We'll continue that for people for people who are listening on podcast. Just know there's always the Teacher's Pet Corner where we have a little bit more conversations. So please remember you can join us live. And for those of you who are watching us, stay tuned because we're going to continue our conversation in a few seconds so this is, please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott, Kelli Bono, and Rebecca Black wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Okay, so Kelli, take it away.
Oh, yeah, with what?
Well, you were talking about different ways that if somebody wanted to join forces with Keep Me Safe Organics.
Yes. So we have 3 different options. We have a good, better, best. We have a truly for people that are truly struggling. You can't really even like your bank account's in the negative. We have a penny option for you. And that just comes with the opportunity to make 30% of everything you sell. We have amazing tools, amazing training, amazing support system. We really are in the business of building people up to the highest potential. And so that is a great option. Really, truly, if people are in the negative in their bank account and they just need an opportunity, they're hitting their knees, they're praying to God, if I can just get an opportunity, that is a good package for you. A lot of people are doing the $99 package. It's a great package. It gives you almost all of your body care and skincare. And it gives you really an opportunity to really play with the products. It gets products in your home. It gets you to have samples to give out. And that package is beautiful because it really allows you to be a part of our culture and have $200 to $300 worth of products for $99. Amazing value. Then we have, if you like everything, you're into the makeup, you're into the skincare, you want everything. We have a $229 package that also comes with your free website for a year. So our website with the other 2 packages, you get a month free. And then our website is $8.95 to run a business, which when you think about that, I don't know anybody else in the world that does that. You get your website linked to you. So you have your online superstore of beauty products that you can go out and make 30% of everything you sell. Then if you get excited and you know friends and people want to join you, you have leverage, which as we learned, leverage is where you leverage your time. You get other people that really love this product. And all of a sudden now they go out, and sell, and you get a small commission off of everything they do. So unlike corporate America, where you have your CEOs and you have all your managers and you have then your employees, which is like a full pyramid, and the money only goes up. They don't really rain it down. What we do is when other people come on for the lifetime that they like move a product. So if a product goes anywhere in your organization, you get a small piece of that pie for as long as that product moves through that organization, as long as that moves through you brought that person on, they brought 5 other people on, they brought 10 people on. You don't make a ton of money. It's not going to be 30%, but you're going to make a small piece of everything that's moved through. And that is how you generate wealth. And that is what we are in the business of, is being wealth creators.
Yeah. And if any of you would like to move and say, okay, well, I would like to do a little bit more than just wear this makeup, because, you know, I know that forever and ever and ever, if anybody says to me, oh, what do you wear? What's that perfume? Where did you get the outfit? What did, you know, I always send them to a place. I don't make a dime off of it, but how nice it is to say, oh, this is, I've got, what do I have on today? I have Cabernet. I've got Cabernet on. Oh, where do I get this Cabernet? Oh, here's my unique link that takes you to you. And now you make 30% off this Cabernet. This is just crazy. Where can you go and get that for a penny? Start your own referral program for just a penny. I used to say 99 cents and she kept correcting me. Kelly kept saying, no, a penny. I'm like, penny? Well, how can you do it for a penny? Do it for 99 cents at least.
One penny.
So one
we make you pay to play.
one penny. Oh my God.
I always say this thing, all you need is a chip and a chair. That's all you need to change your life, is a chip and a chair. And so that's kind of what we're giving. And like I said,
I want to hear what's the chip?
Oh, well, like in the game of like poker or playing cards, a chip.
Oh, okay.
And a
Chip and a chair. So you can tell I'm a gambler. I had not even that yet.
That's kind of like my saying is, all you need is a chip and a chair.
Well, I've been hearing,
and you can change everything.
I've been hearing so much about the vaccine chips. So I was like, a chip and a chair.
Not that chip.
Not that kind of chip. Okay, got it.
I thought it was a potato chip, and then I was like,
yeah.
well, maybe it's the credit cards with the chip in it. So,
so I'm glad I'm not the only it's like. I am not a gambler whatsoever. You know, my biggest, I do have a gambling experience that we were given money to play with. So to me, that wasn't gambling. I was playing with money that it was given to me because we went to this weekend retreat type of thing. And, but my best was I had gone away with my girlfriends on a cruise. And everybody wanted to gamble. So I gave myself like, I don't know, $40 to gamble. And that's huge for me, you know? And I remember I was down like $10 and I'm like, I can buy myself an outfit for $30 and still be ahead, you know? And that's my mentality. I just don't. So I don't gambling references. So thank you for that clarification.
Sorry, Chip. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's good. It's a good one. If you're a poker player, now you know what she's talking about. If you like Pringles.
No.
This is not, you can't eat just one. Okay. So with that in mind, we've got so many things. I know that some of you are texting me right now that you want to be a part of. Let's say somebody wants to be a part of this event on Saturday, Kelly, and they are just going to be able to watch because now they can't have, unless, I wonder if they can just pay for an overnight. If they want to pay for an overnight, you can send them their makeup. I don't know how much that would be to send a little sash overnight.
Yeah, I don't know either, but what we could do is if anybody wants to be a part of it, you just join in and we're happy. Like I always love sending out a sample. So we're happy sending out a free sample. You won't get it in time. It will not be in time. And part of it, I don't want to stress my staff out. So I don't want to make them in the middle, like having to do something different. If they have to run to the post office to do the overnight thing versus giving it to the mail carrier. So I don't want to stress them out because we're kind of in, 2 days away. But if anybody wants a free sample, it probably won't be all the makeup stuff, but if you'll just message Lillian with an address, I've already got samples made up. They'll probably go out tomorrow, maybe Friday or Monday at the latest, but at least you'll get samples. But I would encourage you. When would now be a good time to change your beauty products to things that work? We also have a 60-day money back guarantee. So if anything Yeah. So if you're not happy with anything, but what we find is these products are life changing. And I wish I had some before and afters I could throw up, but women are really, really, really almost feeling the effects and seeing the effects of like what they would have to go to get surgical procedures, what they'd have to do Botox for naturally. We are not using chemicals at all. We are using God's mother nature. Our mud and squalene serum is almost like a chemical peel from mother nature, adding nothing to it. And so that to us, like Rebecca and I feel like what we are doing is revolutionary. We feel like nobody else on the planet, people can promise all this stuff and say we're natural. And 99% of the time we will purchase those products just to see who our competition is. And we turn it over and it's like formaldehyde linked to cancer. What part of Rebecca can tell you all the things, but it's like, what part of this is going to be good for you? It's causing hormone disruption. It's causing weight gain. It's causing you not to get pregnant. What are you doing? Like, what are people doing? Oh, but the label told me it's natural. The label told me. At Keep Me Safe, Rebecca and I both have a mission that not one person is ever harmed by anything we have ever created. So that is our mission. That is our like heart of it. Rebecca and I both have lost people that we love dearly to cancer. And so we want to make sure that does not keep happening. And we have the saying that we say that no one should die to be beautiful, because that's truly what's happening. When you go to your sink and you open up that sink of cabinet of products, every single time you put something on your skin, it gets absorbed within 26 seconds. So everyone right now is hand sanitizing. Everyone right now is bleaching. What do you think that is doing to your insides? If you were not sick before the pandemic, I promise you, if you're using hand sanitizer 30 times a day and you're bleaching the house like 4 or 5 times a week, you will be sick after the pandemic. I mean, it's just a known fact. You cannot keep putting all these chemicals in, all these toxins in, all this stuff in and expect to feel amazing. It's not going to happen. So a lot of times there's just a re-education that needs to happen. It's like how many times, like you can never outrun a bad diet. like people always think, I can eat all this stuff, but you can never outrun a bad diet. You can never get healthy putting crap on your skin, in your body, and expect to live a beautiful life. It's not going to happen for you. So I think a lot of times we just need to stand up and own that and say that in power. I think, I know in the past I've been kind of scared to just put it out there, but I think with what we've got going on in the world, I think by not putting it out there, I'm doing a really disservice to people. And what's so exciting is when girls come in to Keep Me Safe, we have people that have struggled with infertility getting pregnant. We've had people that have had their hormones all out of whack. All of a sudden things are happening and their skin diseases are going away and they're starting to, and it's not because our products cure anything. Our products don't cure or treat. We're just giving the body what the body needs, and the body does what the body does, which is heal. And it is amazing to watch. And so I encourage you, if you open your cabinet right now and you are seeing products that have sodium lauryl sulfates, PEGs, and Rebecca will probably kind of help me out with my lingo. Get them out of your house. You are paying money for these people to kill you. And at the end of the day, is your life worth more than what you got under your sink? So I hear people say, oh, I love my Carmex. And it's like, okay, but do you love cancer? Because when you turn it over and you're seeing that all these things linked to disease and all this stuff is linked to harm, is it really worth loving a product? I'm not willing to die for any product. I don't know about you. There is not one product out there that I'm willing to die for. I don't love it that much. But a lot of times what we're saying every single time we have a product is that we are, Kelly, did Kelly, I thought I said Carmax.
Who doesn't love their Climax?
I thought she said Carmex.
I heard Climax. Okay, well, maybe it's time for me to get off the.
So, but it's just not worth your life. So
I did not intend for you to read that out loud.
No, it's okay. No, I want to make sure I'm grammatically correct. But Rebecca, what are some of the other chemicals that people need to avoid and really know about it? And I think, Rebecca and I've kind of been, I wouldn't say scared, but fearful, a year or two ago to really like hit this thing home. But we are seeing other companies claim that they're natural, and they are anything but. I mean, the amount of formaldehyde in some of these products that claim that they're so natural and they're the safest company out there, we are disgusted. We are like absolutely like wanting to vomit. And I think we've been kind of easy on people and saying it doesn't, you know, like we're so great. We are amazing, and we're doing what I don't think any other company in the world is doing, because we are not harming one person in the process. So Rebecca, what are some of those other nasty chemicals that I can't even pronounce that people should stay away from?
Yep. So before I say that, I just would like to clarify, in the event that someone thinks that they're going to die because they're wearing Carmex, I would like to clarify that you're not going to die from wearing Carmex or Burt's Bees or any other company's products. We're not doctors. We're not treating. We're not diagnosing. We're not curing. And we are not making any type of medical claims or life claims or anything like that. But what we know is that some of the ingredients used in other people's products have mineral oil, have petroleum-based products. And the petroleum byproducts are what is not good enough to be the gasoline in your car. And so that's what you have to think about. And when we say we don't use chemicals, we mean that we do not use harmful chemicals that are known to be linked to human cancers, reproductive issues. You know, the EPA is starting to become very, very aware. In August of 2019, they released a study about the water runoff, the stormwater drain off, and water that is coming through our pipe systems and is going into our waterways. And it's causing reproductive issues in our aquatic life. And when you tie that, so how does stuff get into the drains? Well, it's what we're washing down the drain whenever we take a bath, whenever we take a shower, whenever we wash our hands, whenever we wash our bodies, whenever we use the restroom, it comes out in your urine. Pharmaceuticals are being found in these. And so it's not only are you polluting yourself, but you have the potential to be polluting your environment as well. And whenever your waterways start dying, your ability to produce the air that we breathe, because we're all part of an ecosystem, whenever you start compromising those, the fish can't procreate. And I personally know a lot of humans that have had issues procreating, fertility issues, hormonal acne, hormones completely out of balance, hormonal pigmentation in the skin. It's all caused with endocrine disruption. And so a lot of the chemicals, the harmful chemicals that are in a lot of other competitors' products, it may not come out and say formaldehyde on the label, but it may say something like DM hydatonin, which is a formaldehyde releasing agent. Why do you even need that in a shampoo or a conditioner or a lotion or a cosmetic? Like, what you don't even need that in there. But it's because you've got so many synthetic things together that you have to put something in there that will break those bonds so that it can pull them back together and be this luxurious thing that you are just slathering all of these harmful chemicals on yourself.
It's amazing. It's amazing how we have not at all we lock our toxin chemicals up so that our children can't have it, but then we slather them on our beauty products and put them on our body. This is just got to stop, because everything that we bought into with marketing, like milk does the body good. We know that milk is the #1 cause of osteoporosis and childhood diabetes. Dr. Lorraine Day says that all the time. I quote her a lot more lately because we have been spending every Monday together and for a long time. And so there's so many different ways that we can start reclaiming our health. The first thing is just by asking, what do I need to know that I just don't want to know? Give your body permission to heal past traumas. Give your body permission to be okay with past failures, because those failures were meant for a purpose to empower you. And so those are that reframing of what fear, the things we don't want. You know, we don't want to be a fraud. We don't want people to know that we did this or this is, I spoke to someone not too long ago who told me that they've had multiple abortions, but it's not just telling me that, it's how they live their shame and how they live their pain. And, and if we continue with that, because that was just like something that was blurted out, people tell me things that they don't intend to tell anybody else. And so we got to deal with those things. Yeah, you forgave yourself, but have you really? 98% of women who have abortions and men regret it, and they pay the price. That's internalized. Logically, you might think that this is something good, but not emotionally, because the body knows what it knows, and the brain can try to hide it. So it's time for us to start digging. Write it down. Write down everything that you're ashamed of. Write down everything that you want to change in your life. Write it down. And then this is where it's the freedom comes, is when you reframe it. This is where you reclaim it and you say, this is what I learned. The 4 questions of responsibility on the website are invaluable. And so use those 4 questions without blame, shame, fault, or duty to kind of redirect your life, so that never, ever again do you say, well, I don't know. And what's the question I ask? But what if you did know? What would you say? But what if you did know? And amazing how many people give a response. What if? So it's time to take that step. Take that 20-second step. If you're watching today and you want to get the link to the webinar, if you can't watch it because you're going through the New Truth series, we can do like a watch party together on another day. That way you have the support of our group, of our foundation that we're trying to create here. So we can create whatever we want, because if we created it, we can uncreate it, and we can recreate it. So if it can't be on a Monday, on the 28th, let's figure out when it can be for the Lillian McDermott radio classroom. It could be maybe a Saturday morning. I don't know. So let's talk about that to see if we can even do that. But anyway, for now, I just want to say thank you to you beautiful ladies. It's always so nice to spend time together. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. All of you, even if you haven't submitted, like we just got Eunice just texted me and she said she wants to be a part of it. I'm like, oh, Eunice, you already RSVP'd. So if you already RSVP'd, you should be getting your product soon. And so just know that, be on the lookout, that product is coming your way. And so with that in mind, any last words, Rebecca?
Nope. I love each and every one of you. I'm your biggest cheerleader, and you are so loved, just like Kelly's sign says.
And Kelly, is that the final word?
We love you. We love you. The past is the past. The future is filled with anxiety. You have to live in the moment, and your only job is to feel good.
That's right. Okay. Okay. You heard it from all of us, that we have something in common: fear. How we're going to deal with that fear is up to you right now. Please text us 407-373-5959. Take that first 20-second step now. Text me 407-373-5959, and we'll see you soon. Have a great week.